It's a controversial thing, especially coming from a lady. I see the pushback from a lot of ladies is that they understand and they empathize with the men's desire and so forth, but they say have some empathy for us. The act of intercourse is one that is a little more extreme in vulnerability and physicality and all that stuff versus baking cookies. We're talking about doing the most vulnerable.
Making cookies takes like 7,000 times as long. Like people make cookies, takes them like an hour. People are having sex, and I'm not saying this is right, but people are having sex for like 180 seconds. And so, if a person thinks that having sex, okay, so there's exceptions. If you're postmenopausal, you have vaginal atrophy, and that it hurts, it literally
Physically painful.
hurts, and you have no sex drive at all because your body biologically doesn't want sex and you're older, this is a different scenario. But if we're talking about people in their 30s and 40s, right? Yeah, perimenopause can start in your 40s. But the point is if you find it that vulnerable to have intercourse, that upsetting, that much of a big deal, why? It's either the marriage is truly a garbage fire and you have no respect for this guy. He's cheated. I've seen it. He's cheated on the woman before. He looks at porn all the time, kind of treats her like shit. So, of course, she doesn't want to have sex with him. She barely wants to look at him. Like, no kidding. But, like, if it's a situation where she could say with a straight face that she loves him, but some sex is too vulnerable, like, that is a sex issue. That's not a him and her issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's something where unilaterally on her end, she should go into therapy and figure out, I'm sure that woman was raised very sex negative. I'm sure she saw things that were bad about sex, possibly in her own house. Maybe she had sexual trauma. Like having sex with somebody you ostensibly love, having that be too vulnerable to do is not a relational issue. That's an individual issue, unless it is this marriage is terrible issue, and I don't want to be vulnerable to him. I barely want to look at him in the face. Never mind have sex with him.